Welcome to Close Quarters, right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. We're getting used to the new normal, and something that has been very interesting in terms of conversation is the fact that vehicle prices have gone up so much and there's nothing to buy. And even our country be the only country where the resale value of a vehicle is as good as when you buy it new. I want to speak more about it, of course, in terms of how to survive during these times with this. To speak more, of course, I have Beshan. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just going to let you tell me exactly what you do. I know one part of your thing, so I'm going to just let you make an introduction, please.
Sure. So I'm the director of Vega Innovations. We develop automobile technologies, especially in the electric automobile sector. Also, we are into electric vehicle charger manufacturing as well as agriculture technology. So
amazing. All right, I was very interested in the Vega project, or the fact that now it has come to a point that it's like in the 60s when we used to dream of a vehicle, and by the time it gets shipped and brought to the port, and from the port you have to drive it all the way in, and that's how vehicles were in Sri Lanka, and that's why there were not so many cars to be found. But right now we have come to a point that the resale value of a car is as good as buying a brand new one.
that's right. Yeah, the car prices have gone up. Even the old 20-year-old vehicles are now about 1 million more than what it was used to be. I think it will be very difficult for ordinary people to purchase a vehicle, but that gives good new opportunities as well for vehicle manufacturers to start manufacturing here and then have the potential to export to other countries.
Now, Sri Lankans do have a mindset when it comes to, was it made here? It's a Sri Lankan made car. They tend to feel that there is no value to it, even if there is a vehicle that has got assembled in Sri Lanka. There's always that very skeptical mindset that comes along with it. What is your point of view on that?
Oh, I think that island mentality is there, that anything that we import seems to be better than what we can manufacture here. I think there is some stigma, and the history kind of has made this situation worse, where people have done all sorts of gimmicky things and not really looked at service and maintenance and how people will use it in the long run. So we are trying to fix that slowly. Our electric vehicle chargers is a good example.
Right.
There are German built chargers here that cost about 4 times more than what we build, and those chargers have more downtime than what we had. So we have really shown that Sri Lankan technology has gone way beyond what it was, and that we could do amazing things in this country.
Okay. Now, this whole COVID situation has brought in a very closed economy, and that's one of the biggest things that we are struggling with these days. How has it been on your professional outlook? Is a closed economy the right way in terms of keeping our rupee value high?
I think closing the economy is not the right way, because it's a global economy right now. It's a global supply chain. Things have to come in and out of the country, even if we want to manufacture here. I mean, although we say that there is so much natural resources here in this country,
we have let them be natural. That's a problem.
yes. You can't really use it because we dig the best graphite out of the country and we just ship it out. We don't have a place to turn it into carbon fiber. So it's the same with any other material that we have. So we need to import stuff to export stuff. So it has to be open. And I think value addition is what we need to focus on.
Right. Now, what we are facing right now is, even though Vega is being done here in Sri Lanka, when can we see it on the market? Like, when do we see people purchasing like off the shelf?
Yes, this is a very common question. The Vega supercar itself, we are looking for investors to take it to the market. Taking a supercar into production is a pretty complex operation, and I don't think we are set up to do that right now. But we are looking for investors because there are certain steps that we need to get to that point. But in the meantime, we are developing an electric 3-wheeler that we hope to bring to the market next year. That has enormous export potential. It's a $30 billion market right now globally. So we want to capture about 10% of that. That's a $3 billion market. So that itself is a huge company if we can do that. Then we are also looking at a smaller 4-door small car as well, for the domestic market as well as for the exports.
Okay. This COVID has really made us rethink about so many things, like the things that we have taken for granted has gone up so much in terms of value. And today you are just thinking to yourself, is it actually worth like even staying in this country, because we feel like the youth of our country is crippled with the opportunities going so scarce. As someone who is in creating opportunities, do you think there is hope for Sri Lankans to sort of stay back and invest in this country?
It's a very difficult question. I think the answer is it's a very personal answer for everybody. But if I may say, challenges brings a lot of opportunities. If you look at the US, the world war caused the US to become a superpower because they used their natural resources, their talent, and built all these planes and ships and all sorts of machinery. And this is the moment for us. If we run away from here and we go to Australia or elsewhere, you're going to miss that opportunity. You're just going to become another citizen somewhere else. But if you take on the challenge and you get the skills out there, get everybody focused, people together, then I think there is a huge potential that we can take this country forward.
Now, Close Quarters is a show that's done especially during the lockdown times, and we did 8 episodes before and we thought, this is it. Hopefully we can never bring this show back. But we had to, and that's not a good sign. Tell me, what has COVID done in terms of your operation as a company? How has it crippled you all?
It has really challenged us a lot. For me, especially getting my whole team to cross this challenge together without anybody getting sick is my biggest worry. That's what I am focused on mostly, is that we all work safely to get across the bridge. So I have one co-worker that's currently having COVID. So I wish him well, and I'm always concerned about him. In terms of operations, it has also affected how we get our basic raw materials. Some components have to be imported, so there's a lot of restrictions. If you need to import, you need foreign currency, so getting those payments across have been very slow, and so it has slowed down a lot. And Sri Lanka itself, before COVID, is not a country geared to do product engineering or manufacturing. It's a very service oriented, import and use kind of a country. So it was challenging before to do production anyway. So now that challenge has got more, and so we have taken some precautions. We do more R&D work right now while we stall on some of the manufacturing stuff. So it's a give and take. So you need to kind of find the right balance in this difficult time.
For a person who has been dreaming about buying a car, do you think it's a good time to?
I think you should, take a step back and look at the market first to see where it's moving. Especially right now with all of the prices increasing, you might not want to invest all your money on a vehicle right now, or to get a loan, or to get a lease. So some financial management, I think, is necessary to kind of watch how things go before you kind of jump into it right now.
Okay, so it's better to do the sitting and waiting game.
I think so. I mean,
how long do you think before vehicles start coming in?
I don't think they will be able to import a good part of next year as well, because given the foreign currency restrictions that we have, vehicle imports will be slow. But I have seen some fantastic new ideas that they have thrown around, where people working in other countries can pay in foreign currency to bring a vehicle in. So plans like that might work. So I think we need to think out of the box and come out with new ways to see how to bring vehicles in.
Okay. Now I just wanted to ask you, just like Wege, we had like a project that launched with another youngster called Rodha, and that's also, it's an amazing initiative.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about young engineers or young entrepreneurs coming forward and creating new things for our country, do you think we can change the mindset? Because I think in fashion and in the whole artistry industry, there was a point where people used to fly to Singapore or to Dubai to purchase their designer brands. But now it has broken and people love to flaunt local designers. When do you think we'll come when it comes to the electronics? Because even when it's locally made kitchen equipment, people are like,
Right, yes.
there's always that point where it'll work.
Right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? And people say all the motors are from the same place, kind of a thing.
Yes. All the motors are from the same place.
There you go.
I think, my advice for young engineers is to look at the total package. If you're just building, let's say, a radio, it can't look like a radio that is built in Sri Lanka. It has to look like it came from Germany. It has to be in a box and have the right marketing and logos and things like that, that matches the international brand, and then people will not even notice that it's built in Sri Lanka. What happens today is, most things that are built in Sri Lanka looks like it's built in Sri Lanka. It has that 80s look, it doesn't have the round corners, or something's missing. So I think if you focus on that, if you focus on the entire package, service, maintenance, these are very important things for people, warranties, then I think there is a huge chance, because electronics at the end of the day is not rocket science. All these other brands, they build it in China anyways. So why not here? So I think if you don't just look at the engineering part, look at the entire spectrum of what you need to do to get a product out to the market, and I think then you have a successful launch.
Amazing. So something that I really wanted to speak about is the whole vehicle ban, and people are finding it very hard these days. I think a lot of people's livelihoods did sort of depend on becoming drivers for apps that were like transporting us, and even they are being crippled right now because a basic vehicle that could be used is now a luxury vehicle. So it's quite a crippling thing. But thank you so very much, Beshan, because it's good that you gave us an insight to it. Before we close, I ask this question from everyone from different industries. What has COVID taught you?
COVID has really taught me that how unprepared we are, that we need to be very humble. We need to take every day as your last day, because it very well might be. So you need to stay close to your loved ones, your family, and really treasure your co-workers, because they all bring value that we can't really swap with anybody else on in a heartbeat. So I think that's very important.
Brilliant. Thank you so very much, and I thank you for your time and your insight in all this. We will see you soon with another episode to Close Quarters. Till then, you be safe, follow the regulations that have been provided, and it's a safety measure not only for you, but for the people around you as well. Thank you. We'll see you soon.